Good morning, good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. I ran into a friend outside when I was with Lucy, and Lucy decided to go hide. So it took us a while to find her. Nothing exciting. She likes to eat grass, and then she gets sick, and she just sits down in the grass wherever she is and waits for me to show up. I couldn't get there. It's a good thing my friend was there. He went in after her. Okay, so here we go. Putin held a summit. This time there was no warrant for his arrest, so he was able to get all the bigwigs that he wanted there together. He is, as they say, not looking like he's a solitude type guy. It looks like he's got things going his way. I don't know. We'll find out better. I think this is all about Trump winning the election. We'll have to wait and see. Cuba has no power for the article I read said fourth day. This could be their fifth day. I don't know if the power has been restored there yet, or to any degree at all. All 10 power plants that they have are crashed. Whatever, they're powered by oil, Venezuelan oil for the most part, and they can't get the oil out of Venezuela because Venezuela is selling it for make money instead of giving it to Cuba. The last time Cuba had some sort of crisis like this, did I mention they also had a hurricane hit? Small hurricane, fortunately. But any size hurricane on an island is not nice. But as I was about to say, a few years ago, I don't remember exactly when this happened, but 500,000 Cuban refugees turned up in the United States. Now, Trump and the people, the whole country doesn't want that. They already got little Havana down in Florida. They don't need anything else. We'll see, because they emptied out the prison ships the last time they did something like this. What else? Here's an interesting article. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember KMART, which was Kresge's originally, and then became KMART, then merged with Sears, which was disastrous. Well, this past week, I think it was Saturday, I'm not sure, but I know it was done this past week or so. The last KMART physical location closed. And I gotta tell you, that stuff, the problem I had with that store was at the end was it went really low key. I mean, you couldn't get good products, of any great caliber. Like you can go into Walmart and you can get a pair of jeans that's good, sturdy, maybe not for dress, but they'll be for work. You couldn't get that in Kmart at the end. It was all pretty much, the toys and everything were all pretty much looked like carnival giveaways. It was rough, at least in the store that I had by me. So I wasn't surprised. That store went a long time ago, so now the last one finally went. Cher was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Sorry about that. She's my age. She's 78 years old, and looking good. I hope I look that good. I doubt it, but she looking good. She's still got it. That lady is just hot. What can I tell you? And I watched the Thursday night game last night. Was the Bucks and the Ravens, Tampa Bay and Baltimore, and game wasn't close when I got a hold of it. The Ravens were taking the game away, but they were then it looked like the Bucks might make a little bit of a comeback. Got a onside kickback and everything, and it wasn't. They had the possibility of at least making it a lot closer. And then Goodman, their best receiver left on the team, because they lost Evans earlier in the game. He suffered a catastrophic leg injury. When I saw him after he fell down, and he was dragging his left leg, and when he left the field, his left leg was in an inflatable cast. I'm not sure exactly what he did. I'm gonna go for a torn Achilles, but I'm not a genius, you know. But I have had injuries to my ankle, and I know what that's like. So, worst case scenario, torn tendon in his ankle. That's not the worst. The worst is Achilles torn, you know. Good player, great guy. The team's got a big problem now. I don't know. They can pretty much, offensively, they can pretty much say goodbye to their season if they can't find anybody to make a replacement someplace along the line. Oh, then what else was going on? That injury took place in the last 43 seconds of the game, too, which was stupid. You know, the game was out of hand. They were down by 10. 43 seconds left. I don't think that, you know, they thought they could win. They were trying to win. They weren't quitting, but that was a costly ego trip, I think, for the team. But we'll see what happens when I get to read the articles later on today about what's going on with Goodman. There was a report out. I never knew this, but the leading city for rats is Chicago, and it's been that way for about 10 or 11 years. Which I always thought, you know, New York City was got to be definitely the number one location for rats, because they got those super rats. You know, the ones that come in, knock on the door, and walk over to the dining room table and take a seat. You know, big as dogs. Well, they say they are. I've seen a couple of them that are as big as small cats. Yeah. That's something you want to run into as you're walking down the street. You see that sitting in the middle of the sidewalk scratching his ass, you know. One of those things. But what surprised me was L.A. was second, and New York was third, which was really that surprised me. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised about certain things, you know. New York spends a lot of money making sure you don't get to see those rats, you know. But there are places in New York City, like there's places in Medellin and every place, other big city in the country, that if you go in there, you're gonna see shit you don't want to see, and it's not safe. You know, how do people get hurt when they go visit? Tourists get hurt. They either allow an unreputable guide to take them into areas that they don't belong in, or they ask to pointedly go to these areas, which, like most cities, are fine at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but not at 11 o'clock at night. You know, once the sun goes down, there's parts in Medellin, New York City, most of your big cities that you just don't want to go into. That's when the criminals wake up and it's their turn to go do whatever it is they're going to do. You know, so that's just the way it is. I got something here. What's that? Oh, okay. The election's very close. I don't believe in polls, so if you think that Kamala's, you read these articles where they say Kamala's gonna, CNN just crushed Trump, Harris will win. No, don't believe any of that shit. Okay, get up off your ass, walk down to the ballot place, and vote. All right. Your vote, this election is the most important in your life. All right? Right now, it's the most important part of your life. If you value your freedoms, if you think that the Constitution is a good governing base for our government, whatever, you got to get out and vote, and you have to vote for Kamala. It's a right you have, and you should exercise that right this year more than any other year before this. Make a decision. because then if you were in my neighborhood and you voted for Trump, and Trump wins, and Trump starts doing all this bad shit, I'd kick the shit out of you. Constantly, every day. You know? And anybody else that felt that way about Trump. You people just, you cannot vote for a man who is basically a new improved version of Hitler. Okay? Anybody who wants everybody in his presence to sit at attention like little Kim does, and I kept telling you there's a difference between, they don't do it because they admire him. They sit at attention because if they don't, they'll disappear the next day. They will not be sitting in that chair tomorrow morning. Somebody else will be. And in a country where shortages are all over the place, being on the right side means a lot. Even if that right side is the wrong one in the world, and even if that right side could end up causing the death of everybody in your country. All right? Because they can't win a nuclear war. They can't win any kind of war by themselves right now. That's why they've aligned themselves with Russia, and they're sending North Korean troops in Russian uniforms into the Ukraine. The reason the Russian uniforms is because there's a less chance that they'll be singled out and hunted down and killed. But then Russia's going to have to fight off the claims of barbarism? Is that a word? Barbaric behavior on the part of the North Koreans, who are notorious for that. All right? So, don't know what's going to happen there. I'd like to see an end to the war, but I don't want to see Putin walking in and sitting in Kiev. And that's what Harris claims, that if Trump gets elected, Trump will be... And that's a pretty good guess. Because, Trump's having conversations with Putin about, what they're going to do together and how they're going to rule the world, But that's like Hitler and Mussolini. We all know what happened to both of them. So I don't see anything good happening for either one of those two guys, Kim or Putin or Trump. If they're elected, things are going to get bad for our country, but they're going to get worse for those two. There's going to be a huge problem for Donald, because I told you he's not capable of leading for 4 years, and I don't think they want him around much after he gets inaugurated. Now, do they want J.D. Vance? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't think they were very happy when he was chosen as vice president, and I think if Trump loses, that's where the blame will go to J.D. Vance. Simply because he's as much an idiot as Trump is. Only he's got the IQ to actually prove it, and that he shouldn't be saying stuff like he's saying. And to go from hating a man and comparing him to Hitler to saying he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. Come on, folks. Nobody believes you. Nobody wants you around. He's a very unpopular choice. He's still a very unpopular person. Did he beat Waltz in the debate between the two? Yeah, Waltz is no rocket scientist when it comes to debate, but he admitted to the fact he's a terrible debater. But he had the best question, and at the end of the debate, and Vance proved he was just nothing more than a sycophant, a little toy for Donald, because he couldn't answer the question correctly or at all. He hemmed, he hawed, he booed, he was, whatever, all right? So, now, I don't know what I'm going to do election night, because there's not going to be, probably will not be a decision for 2 or 3 days after election day. So I don't know whether I will how I'll handle that situation. Will I stay up at night and have a TV and my phone and everybody else and everything else around me so that I can give reports or not? I don't know. Time will tell, folks. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of equipment I have to move if I want to watch TV when I'm doing that, and a lot of this stuff is very temperamental when I move it. So because it's not exactly brand new, So I don't think I'll do that, but I'll probably run back and forth to the TV in my bedroom, and then come in here when every so often whenever they make a report and comment on it. We'll see. I'm really not sure. Again, I apologize. Well, I don't apologize for being late. I have a life. This isn't a job for me. This is something I feel obligated to do, but I don't feel obligated to do it at any particular time. And that's why I have trouble going live. Otherwise, I would be doing this live. It would be much more fun to do this live because I would get some responses from people, which I don't get when I do this this way. All right, that's it. I'm gone. I'll talk to you tomorrow.